Check. Check 1, 2, 3. It's time for the Timeless Roofing Friday Morning Sports Drive, live from Pumps PB&J. Timeless Roofing, over 30 years of experience, licensed and insured. Quality and integrity never get old at timelessroofingsc.com. Call for a free quote, 803-687-4184. The Timeless Roofing Friday Morning Sports Drive, live from Pumps PB&J, is sponsored by Allen Harmon Trucking, Amick Farms, Bailey & Son Music Company, Berry Insurance Agency, Bobby K. Roof Builders, Brown's Auto Detail, Cal Forest House District 39, Carolina Health Centers, Carolina Concrete, CB Forest & Son, CIA Towing, CM Tree Service, Combs Meats, Cromer Trucking, Crouch Hardware and Farm Supply, Dr. Ralph N. Riley, M.D., Economy Furniture, Edwards Heating and Cooling, Farm Bureau, H&R Block, JRA Exterminating, Kelly White State Farm Insurance, Lake Murray Properties, Saluda Livestock Market, Mason Haney Plumbing, Minnick Saluda Body Shop, Miggs of Saluda, Molly Mitchell Spearman and Family, Motor Coach Paint and Body Sales, Newberry Hospital, Persimmon Hill Country Club, Price's Garage and Heavy Duty Towing, Pumps PB&J, the Office of Ralph Sheely Kennedy Law Office, Ramey Funeral Home, Saluda County Water and Sewer Authority, Saluda Law, Saluda Nursing and Rehab Center, Saluda Stockyard, Senator Billy Garrett, South State Bank, Sylvan Farms, the Charlie Foundation, the Jane Autry Insurance Company, the Law Office of Nancy T. Jordan, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Town of Saluda, TimelessRoofingSC.com, Viva Broadband, Wiz's World Finance, and Westview Behavioral Health. We're so glad you're joining us for the Timeless Roofing Friday Morning Sports Drive, live from Pumps PB&J. You're watching SALUDANow. And good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Timeless Roofing Friday Morning Sports Drive, live from Pumps PB&J. We're so glad that you're joining us here this morning on the program. We're looking for a wonderful day as your Saluda Tigers are about to travel up the road to Central Pageland, South Carolina, and we're going to be taking on the Central Eagles tonight in a great matchup. And we'll be talking about that in a moment. But last night we were privileged to be part of the Christmas tree lighting for the town of Saluda. We appreciate them inviting us out, and we're thankful for the town. The county came together in a rare coincidence. They were all there together, and there it is. The tree came on. And Santa was there. All the children had a wonderful time, and we enjoyed being there and appreciate the town of Saluda for inviting us to be a part of that. And speaking of that, speaking of other community events, today, it's happening today, we're going to be having a food giveaway drive-through. You're invited. It's the Give Thanks Food Giveaway drive-through. It's going to be at Pleasant Hill Baptist Church, right there on 130 Pleasant Hill Road on Newberry Highway, 2 to 4, one package per household. It's sponsored by all the sponsors listed there and the Pleasant Hill Baptist Church. We appreciate them doing this, and they always do a great work there at Pleasant Hill Baptist Church every year doing this, and we thank them for doing that. But we are focusing, you two now, have a good day. We're focusing in on the second round of the high school league playoffs. We're going to be talking about that shortly, and we'll also be talking about the Pick'em contest. You can go right now, pick the winner. Make sure you pick the right score now. Pick the right score of the South Carolina-Wofford game. Ought to be a dog fight, dog and chicken fight, excuse me, and then a cadet and tiger fight at Death Valley, and I believe I'm predicting there's going to be some high scoring out there. What y'all think, fellas?
Well, yeah, I think Carolina will easily take care of Wofford. Clemson, I still love them. My blood still runs orange, but I think that's a team that's still trying to find itself. But I think they will take care of the Citadel. But I don't know. They'll probably show out Saturday. I'll say that, but
yeah,
that's because I'm kind of hard on them right now because they hadn't played to our expectations.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't want to look ahead, but I will. I think Clemson takes care of business this week. Carolina takes care of business. Then that next week, I'm going to tell you what, the talk really gets started. Carolina's playing some really good football, and I talked to some Clemson people yesterday, and they're like, I don't know about this year. So I think it's going to be very heated and fun next week. I think that's going to be the fun week.
And they play at Clemson, right?
I think so.
I think it's a year that Gamecocks have been looking for.
And we'll be talking more about that game. You know, we're sponsored by Allen Harmon Trucking. We appreciate all of our sponsors for sponsoring us here on SALUDANow. And we appreciate Allen Harmon Trucking. Listen, we treat your load and our drivers like family. Hold on just a second. Check. Wake up in your big rig office in the morning and get at home at night to kiss your wife and children goodbye. We treat your load and our drivers like family. Call today for more information. 864-445-7249. Allen Harmon Trucking says, go Saluda Tigers. And also we're sponsored by Amick Farms. You know, we're looking at launching your next career. You can count on Amick Farms / join our team to apply today. Choose Amick for your best gig yet. And we're also sponsored today by Bailey & Son Music Company. You know, they have been servicing the CSRA, the Lakelands and the Midlands for many years, and they will get right to you. So visit their website, Bailey & Son Music Company, today. And we're back here with you on the Timeless Roofing Friday morning sports drive. And I never switched the camera. Y'all were looking at Jeffrey and Brandon the whole time. Okay.
Oh, they watched me eat the rest of my breakfast.
Yeah, they was watching you eat your punk's breakfast, which it is good. And
you know, Burton, I love Fridays, but Fridays with a punk's breakfast always starts out best. I'm gonna tell you that is one of the best breakfasts you'll eat. If you hadn't had a breakfast right here at Punk's, come on out here and get one because it is the great way to start your day.
This and we have the Breakfast Club over here. Let's let everybody see who's in the Breakfast Club this morning. You see some of our honorable veterans over there. I don't know how honorable they are, but they honorary. And they over there this morning, and they reading the newspaper, drinking some coffee. And we love to see them. We gonna miss them once the playoffs though, which I hope it'll keep going. What about y'all fellas?
Oh yeah, I think we always wanted. We never wanted to stop.
Yeah.
So yeah, we.
I need to make sure Wynn's gonna be here next Friday.
I mean, the playoffs may stop at any time, but that entertainment over there,
It's gonna keep going.
That's the gift that keeps giving over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, Burton, it's going to be a tough one tonight. Nice little trip, about 2 hours and 15 minutes from Saluda. But I look forward to going, and I think Saluda fans will travel good. And I plan on being here next week.
Yeah.
And I can tell you all about the turkey I had and what all went on. So, that's one of the goals that they'll tell you every year. You want to practice on Thanksgiving. So, Saluda, if we win tonight, will have that practice on Thanksgiving, which is always fun.
Yeah, usually that's a Abbeville practice.
Yeah. Yeah. And just remember, this is actually, we pushed back a week. Didn't we push back a week, right?
Yeah.
So, it would really be in the thick of things. Then it would be,
If you practice in Thanksgiving, you've had a good season.
That's right.
What are y'all's Thanksgiving plans?
I'll be at the church probably early that
Okay,
morning.
y'all serving lunch
giving out
at the
meals.
church. That's
Yeah.
good.
The good I do has no, it doesn't stop. It's just limitless. And then, I don't know, I'll find something to eat later on that afternoon, I imagine. Be about the best thing I can do. We normally get together. Whoever doesn't have anything for Thanksgiving, we'll get together. So it'll be some of my family, some of Nancy's family, some are here, some are there. So we'll come up with something for sure.
What y'all gonna do, Brandon?
That's a good question. I really don't know.
Your
I
wife
can
will tell
give you more information next week.
Yeah.
After I'm giving my marching orders, but other than that, it'll be here local.
Are you gonna go deer hunting?
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
your annual tradition, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
You and your daddy.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
We'll be out there.
That's good. Well, listen. Speaking of that, the bracket is whittled down here. Let me tell you the area games, the 2A games tonight in the upper state, Clinton and Chester. That'll be a good game.
Wow.
Number 1 and 2 at Clinton. And then Batesburg-Leesville is taking on number 3, Andrew Jackson. Not far from where we're going to be. We ain't going to pass them in the road because they're going to be at Batesburg tonight. That would be a good one if you're in the area to go to Batesburg-Leesville and watch the game. Then Fairfield Central and Chesney will be playing in the lower part of the upper state bracket. That's another good one. And if we were to survive Central tonight, we would play the winner of Fairfield Central Chesney, fellas.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, that would be. Everything now is. I always say you're playing with house money. We got here. We want to win every game. I plan on winning all our games. And what great matchups, coming up. That's pretty crazy.
And you know what I noticed about the bracket here, Batesburg, Leesville, Andrew Jackson? Andrew Jackson is a 3 seed. They're the only one that survived in the first round of the playoffs that was a 3 seed. So that is something to talk about. Then over in the lower state, Barnwell and Timberland, that's going to be a good one in Barnwell tonight. That'll be a barn burner. Sherrill and East Clarendon, that'll be another good game. Then Manning and Hampton County, and Phillips Simmons and Kingstree. A lot of good games tonight. Get out there. Listen, if you don't have anywhere to go tonight, go to the playoffs. If you're watching us in the central area, come on out and see us tonight. We're going to be there on Zion Church Road in Central Pageland. And like I said, I've never been there, so we're looking forward to being there
Yeah,
tonight.
I was trying to decide if I'd ever been in Burton. I still can't come up with it. Maybe way back when, but I do
No,
not remember it really.
And everybody's been asking me about it because they said, don't they usually come here? But from the way I understand it is, it's predetermined by coin toss. I always wondered how they figured that.
And whose coin they use? And that kind of
The
crazy.
South Carolina High School League.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like we're always on the road. I want to use a hometown coin one time.
Two-headed penny.
Yeah, I want that two-headed penny flip.
Yeah. So
When them heads I win, tails you lose. Deal.
anyway, yeah. And speaking of another sponsor I referred them this week, Bobby K. Roof Builders. Mobile home supplies, floor coverings, refurbished appliances. They're right there. In fact, I sold them a refurbished appliance this week. 300 Denny Highway, Saluda. I'll tell you something about these new appliances. They wear out so quick, but the technicians there at our winners for the college football pick'em is week 13, fellas. And the first game with Aggies are favored by 2.5.
I think Texas A&M takes care of this. Auburn's very decent team, but I think Texas A&M will come out.
I agree. I think Texas A&M's got a little bit too much for them, and I actually think Texas A&M will cover that spread. So I like Texas A&M.
And we got Noah filling in for his daddy today. Happy anniversary, by the way, Tony. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary. 20, right? You wasn't around back then, was you? I remember their wedding. It was ice cold, and they had ice sculptures. They never melted.
Yeah.
All right. Who you picking, Texas A&M or Auburn?
Dad said for me to pick Texas A&M. So.
Here, I don't think your mic's working. Check.
Dad said to pick Texas A&M, so I'm going Texas A&M.
I like a young man that does what his daddy said. That's a good job.
All these are his picks, but so far I agree with him.
Hey, if you don't, that's going to be a beating.
Check. Okay, now.
No car.
All right. Ole Miss at Florida. And Florida, let's see. Ole Miss is favored 9.5.
I think Ole Miss, they've been showing what they're about here lately, so Ole Miss over Florida.
And, you know, we talked trash about Florida. I did pick them last week because I told y'all that
LSU.
Yeah.
yeah, that LSU.
Yeah.
He always wins a game that he shouldn't win, Billy Napier. But they also got to looking at Florida. They have the toughest schedule in the country. And you look at the games they lost, I think were all the people in the top 10 or 12. So they're a lot better than people realize, but they're not going to get it done this week, and I'm going to take Ole Miss in that offense.
Okay. All right.
I'm going Ole Miss as well. I think they also cover the spread out of Florida.
Okay. And by the way, that's the voice of Noah Berry. He said he didn't want to go on camera. All right. This scratcher here, even why it's even on the card, I guess because Georgia's in the top 10, 42.5 over UMass.
Yeah, this ought to be a walkthrough practice for Georgia. You might not even know the name of the starters by the second quarter. So I'm going to go Georgia all the way.
Yeah, Georgia rolls big.
All right.
Yeah, Georgia scored 42.5 in the first quarter.
All right. Kentucky at Texas, and Texas is favored 20.5 over the Wildcats.
Kentucky's played pretty decent ball this year. I don't know if Texas covers the point spread, but I'm going Texas over Kentucky.
Yeah, I think Kentucky's played good this year. I just think that you can only play and get up for games and get close and not come through and it not take a mental toll on you. This late in the season, I think they just sort of hoping to get it over with, and I think Texas rolls on them.
Yeah, I agree. I think Texas will probably should beat Kentucky. I don't know about the point spread, though.
Okay. Indiana at Ohio State, and the Buckeyes are favored 11.5 over the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah, Indiana's one of these basketball schools that's put the football helmet on this year and wanted to play, but I'm no Ohio State fan by any means, but I believe Indiana finds out what big boy football is about this weekend. Ohio State.
Jeffrey?
Well, what I think and what I wish are two different things, but this is kind of the Christmas season, so I'm going with my wish. Indiana to upset Ohio State by a layup.
Oh, I'd love it.
I would too.
I'm going to agree with Jeffrey on this one. I think Indiana wins by a field goal.
And I'm sort of like, I like the way you put that, Jeffrey.
By a layup.
No, by your Christmas wish list.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to say, I hope Santa Claus comes early
Me too.
and gives them a present and lays a big old egg down there for big old Ohio State.
Yeah, just for the record, though, I was betting with my pocketbook, not my heart.
Oh, okay. All right. Iowa, Maryland. And Iowa, the Buckeyes are favored 6.5, Brandon.
Yeah, I've watched Maryland play this year. Hadn't been overly impressed with them, and I've only seen Iowa play one time, so I'm going Iowa.
Yeah, me too. Iowa. And actually, I think Iowa will cover that spread.
I'm going to agree with Jeffrey on again. I think Iowa wins and covers.
I don't know. Being at Maryland, I'm going to have to go with the Terps on that one.
Ooh.
On just by a thin razor, maybe a point. All right, Northwestern at Michigan, and Michigan is favored by 12.5, Brandon.
I think Michigan easily covers that spread, and they're at the big house, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that is definitely. I'm going with Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan all the way. And I think it'll be more than 12.5.
Yeah, I think Michigan will win that one.
Yeah, Northwestern ain't cutting it this year. I don't know what's going on up there. I don't watch much of that ball at all because I don't have time. You see, all the games are Clemson, Georgia, Carolina, back to back to back. So I miss a lot of those games. And I always say, well, I'm going to go back and watch them during the week, and I don't have time to do that.
Just don't have time, yeah.
Penn State at Minnesota. And the Nittany Lions are favored 12.5 in that one, Brandon.
Yeah, Penn State was been playing very good ball this year. They got their feelings hurt that 1 week. I think they come out and they don't care about the boat being rowed. I think Penn State walks away with it easily.
This might, again, be on my wish list, but the upset of the week is Minnesota upsets Penn State.
I don't think Minnesota will upset Penn State. I think Penn State will win by 2 touchdowns or more.
Talk to me Sunday.
Yeah, Penn State, I'm really interested in them because they're saying that Georgia may have to play them in the playoffs. I'm just wondering how much snow's going to be on the ground. So Penn State, no snow this weekend, by the way, that I know of. I hadn't looked at the Minnesota forecast, but may be some snow. I don't know. If it was off that wind yesterday, it would have been snow. That was some cold wind.
Yes, it was.
All right, Southern Cal at UCLA, always a good game there, and it's a close one, 4.5, Brandon.
Yeah, that's one that I feel like could go either way. I'm gonna lean towards Southern Cal.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the same way. I think. I like Lincoln Riley. I really do. I think he'll put together a good game plan, and I'm gonna take the Trojans.
Yeah, I'm going to go USC Trojans.
All right. Well, I think that it's going to be nice out there tomorrow. The high's going to be 61, the same as it is here. We got L.A. weather here tomorrow. And so I think it's going to favor the home team, UCLA. Washington State at Oregon State ought to be a good one there. 12.5 for Washington State, Brandon.
Yeah. Does Oregon State still have?
Nah.
Okay. All right. Well, that was. Yeah, I'm gonna still go Washington State over Oregon State with that one.
Yeah, Oregon State's still getting over the ukulele sickness.
Bless their heart with
You
that.
get that. It takes a long time to get over it. You know, Florida State just caught it this year. That's where it's playing for. And they went from undefeated to 2 wins. Yeah. So, I'm going with Washington State big until they get over this sickness.
Yeah, I'm going Washington State, even though it's at Oregon.
and I'm looking at the weather. If it's a night game, I don't know what time it's going to be, but it's going to be some rain. That's going to be turnovers, and that always favors the home team, Oregon State, in that one. That'll be an upset. North Carolina at Boston College, and the Tar Heels are favored 2.5, Brandon.
I was going to say, I bet this is going to be a close game, but there again, I'm going to bet with my heart as much as I am my pocketbook. I'm going to go North Carolina.
Yeah, I've been watching North Carolina play just a little bit, and they just, I don't know, they just can't seem to get it together. And I think going to Boston College, pretty tough place to play, really pretty place. But I'm going to go with Boston College.
Yeah, I'm going to go Boston College as well, but I ain't sure about the point spread.
I think Matt Brown continues his exit from North Carolina, and Boston College upsets them. The Eagles win. All right, UCF at West Virginia. This ought to be a good matchup. And looks like Central Florida, who is their mascot? I figured out. Brandon.
UCF is a pretty scrappy little team. I know West Virginia has been.
The Knights.
Yeah.
That's the logo that we couldn't figure out the other week.
We were
Yeah.
Army.
Yeah, we were Army.
Yeah. That's who I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean toward UCF on the West Virginia game.
Yeah, and I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to go with West Virginia at home, only 2.5 points. I think West Virginia will put a couple things together. They hadn't really looked terrible the few times I saw them, so I'm going West Virginia.
I also have West Virginia at home.
I'm going with UCF. They just lost to Arizona by 4 points, 35-31. I think they make it up this week, and after they had the week off, and they're going to upset West Virginia, the Mountaineers at home. Okay, Arizona at TCU, and the Horned Frogs are favored 11.5 over the Sun Devils.
Yeah, I'm going to lean toward TCU playing at home. They're playing good ball. I think they have way more than weapons than Arizona, so I'm going TCU.
Ooh, that's a tough one there. I'm gonna stay with Arizona. Like I said, they're not a bad team. So I'm on TCU. I thought was having kind of a down year, so I'm gonna take Arizona.
I'm going to take TCU and they cover.
Ooh.
All right, I think I'm going to lean with you on that one. Baylor at Houston. So the Bears are favored 7.5 over Houston.
Yeah, I'll go with Baylor on that one, even though it's at Houston. 7.5, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go Baylor.
Yeah, I'm going with Brandon on this one. I'm gonna go with Baylor as well.
I think Baylor wins the game.
Yeah, I just seen Arizona beat Houston's 27-3 back Friday, November the 15th. That would have been last Friday, wouldn't it? So I believe they continue their downward spiral. I don't know what's going on there. Must be some injuries or something. And so I'm looking for Baylor to win that one. Alabama and Oklahoma, this is the one that's getting a lot of attention, even though Oklahoma is not that good. It's going to be at Oklahoma. Brandon?
Yeah, even though it's at Oklahoma, I think Bama walks through this one fairly convincingly.
You know, and I think I can't get everything on my wish list, so I'm gonna have to take Alabama. I just don't see him stopping the quarterback. Melrose is just he's insanely good, and I know Brent Venables do everything he can to scheme up against him, but in the end, that guy's just too good. So I'm gonna take Alabama.
I'm going to rock with Jeffrey. I got Alabama, but Dad said he does not think they will cover.
I think they're upset again. Oklahoma beats Alabama at home in a big upset there, because you don't never know who's going to show up on that team. All right, now we have two more picks, and of course it is first South Carolina at Wofford. And listen, go to SALUDANow and scroll down, and you'll see the Pick'em game of the week. our first game in South Carolina at Wofford. It's a 4 o'clock contest on ESPN Plus.
Bad as I hate to say it, Carolina has very much impressed me this
Pick
year.
the score, too.
Oh, my.
By the way, I think it's 42.5 for Carolina.
Okay.
Yes, 42.5.
Their offense is clicking. Their defense is popping pretty good. I'm going to go Carolina 42-9.
Okay. Jeffrey?
This is going to be a tough one. Immediately I thought, I'm thinking it's going to be 49-10 for Gamecocks.
No?
I got 45-7 Carolina.
All right. I think it'll be 56-3 Carolina. Just letting them have a field goal because their defense is getting better. Probably one of the best defenses in the nation, I believe.
I think they play really well, yeah.
All right, here's another good one, and Citadel and Clemson, and the Tigers are favored 46 at home, 3:30 start on ESPN Plus.
Ooh, I'm going to go Clemson 42. The Citadel 14.
And I'm going to tell you what, I think that's a good score, Brandon, but I was going to go 49-17. I think anytime Dabo's blowing somebody out, he's going to play everybody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all your managers and trainers, everybody will get in the game. So, when you do that, the other team's going to score. So, I'm thinking 49-17.
I'm going to go 35-3.
All right. And I think I'm right there with Noah, 38-10.
And Bert and I just got some nasty grams on my phone.
Uh-oh.
I do have Thanksgiving plans. It's out at Kelly and Randy Howler's house.
Thank you
it
for listening.
Says you do know you have Thanksgiving plans.
Thank you for listening.
I forgot. So
No,
Let's
there
go
you go.
eat some turkey with
now I know.
Kelly and who'd you say we're going
Randy.
with? Okay.
Randy and Kelly.
Let's go on out there and eat some turkey with them.
Now, remember, these are always just our views and our opinions, so we don't ever tell the truth necessarily.
All right. And speaking of our sponsors today, Berry Insurance Agency, Will Berry and the folks out there at Berry Insurance, go by and see them. Get a quote on your insurance, auto, business, home, and life. BerryINGroup.com, 803-307-0030. We appreciate Will Berry and all the agencies, and one of our coaches is actually working for him, Tommy Strickland. Appreciate Tommy and the good folks down there, Berry Insurance Agency. And, of course, we're also sponsored by Cal Forest for House District 39, and we appreciate him and congratulations on him winning another term, and he is representing us well at the State House. We appreciate Cal Forest for his sponsorship of SALUDANow. Of course, the big game tonight is what we're here to talk about mainly, and talk about last week's game as we played the Mid-Carolina Rebels. What was y'all's thoughts about the game last week, fellas?
I think Mid-Carolina actually played better than I had anticipated. That's a pretty good little team for no more players than they have. Penalties were crippling us pretty bad, but that probably made it a lot closer than it should have been. But Mid-Carolina played a lot better than I anticipated.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was tuned in. I was watching. And Mid-Carolina is better. They're much improved. So my hat's off to that program and the gap that I say the strides they've made. Good little team. I thought that solid, well coached. But that's one thing, we got to cut down on. We got to cut down on our penalties. And, this is something we kind of say about every week. we can't lead the state in penalties. That's not something we want to lead the state in. I know you always want to be number one, but some things you do not want to be number one in. And just the penalties. And a lot of ours are just mental, and that's something that we can't, let continue to happen. So I hope that's something that, our guys realize they got to clean up and understand the difference a lot of times. So anyway.
And penalties mean more this time of the year.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
What
we
was
gave
your
up
thought?
115 yards, a whole football field in penalties last. That's dangerous doing it this time of the year.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about, taking back touchdowns, big gains, first downs, and opportunities where you can flip the field that you're not.
A game of inches and you giving up over 100 yards.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do it. Not and be successful.
I'm gonna have to agree with Jeffrey and Brandon. I think Mid Carolina showed us a little more than we wanted them to, and I hope we do good this week and win another round.
Yes, as we travel up the road to Central, we'll be there tonight, 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 kickoff. And on a football Friday night there at Central, 200 Zion Church Road in Payson. And we hope that you'll join us in the stadium. I've talked to a lot of people that are coming up to be with us, and always Saluda brings a good crowd, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing you can always be proud of, that Saluda does travel well. They support on the road and at home. And, I mean, it's a good Friday night atmosphere to be around with Saluda football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, though, to tell everybody when they're coming, it's going to be in the 40s, low 40s. So
Okay.
you're looking at about, mine's saying about 42 degrees at 9 o'clock. So something to think about when you come. We have been spoiled so far. We've had great weather.
Mm-hmm.
I think I wore shorts to the last home game. No, I wasn't there last week before. I was in shorts and a T-shirt. So just remember, bring some clothes. It might get cold on you, and come ready to get loud and pull our young men through. We got a great team, great set of coaches, and I want to do this again next week.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think he turned off his microphone. He's done for the
He
day.
done mic dropped you. He'll see you tonight.
Yeah, I'll see you tonight.
What you think about it? No.
I hope we do good. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I want to make it back to Overstate so we can beat Batesbury.
All right. There you go. Listen, ought to be a good game tonight. I didn't realize this. Somebody told me this, that actually Central used to be in our region. And we would travel up there. They would come down here. That's back in the day now.
That's probably before my day because I don't remember.
And so anyway, that
We
was
all
what
know that was
somebody
50 years.
told me.
Yeah.
But listen,
We found that out
let's
here.
look at what Central did this year because we don't know a lot about them. The first game they lost 20-0 to Louisville, which is probably a 3A team, I think, or maybe a 4A. But they never looked back after that. They beat Parkwood 22-0, Lamar 40-38. That was a close game. Blacksburg, which we have played Blacksburg before, 44-14, blew them out. Anson, never heard of that team, 32-7. Buford, another team we know, and we've played at Buford before, 47-0. Then they lost Sherrall 30-13. Which is, I think Sherrall's the number one in their district or
Is that Buford
division.
or Buford? Buford.
Buford,
Yeah.
Buford, yeah. And Andrew Jackson 20-0, Chesterfield 34-8, North Central 38-7, and the week before last, no, this would be the playoff. They beat Landrum 36-26, a 10-point contest in that one.
Yeah, I guess Saluda by 21. I assume. I mean, I kind of wish we had it at home so I wouldn't have to go so far to see this beat down. But, yeah, we're going to put it on them. I say 21.
I'm going to say 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say by 14.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to agree with Brandon on this one. I think we do win it by 2 touchdowns.
And does a cold ball cause turnover?
Not for us big boys. We just give it back there to the skilled players. They can handle it after that. But no, it does have an effect on it, especially if you're not used to it and you got these kids wearing these gloves and then they have issues with the gloves, end up taking the gloves off.
I heard Georgia one time they switched gloves.
Yeah, they're a
During
little
the
over
games.
Saluda's budget with that. But
They had something sticky on them or
Yeah,
something.
some of those gloves are tacky, and some of them are just like regular gloves. Yeah, but that's right. Yeah, colder ball. Colder ball to me is harder. It's slicker. So yeah, I think it does matter. But you stick that, you cover the nose and stick the other point under your arm. Then you're good to go. So you just got to be mindful of it. It is something that is a real thing. I actually think a colder ball, I don't think you can throw it as far. Now that's me. A lot of people say it's got more to do with the humidity and the thick air and that kind of stuff. But it's I think you're right. It is more. It is slicker. It's different, but I don't think we'll have a problem. We got some great ball boys, and they like to keep our balls covered and warm. And
that's something that you mentioned, the ball boys. I'm glad you did that. I watched Brady Ashley the other night. He ran more than anybody in our backfield ran. I mean, he was everywhere. Like when the ball hadn't even hit the ground from a PAT, he caught it, one hopped it, and had it back to. That youngin has got his steps in this year. I can tell you.
And
that.
I noticed the air was heavy last week when they did the purple fog before the players come out. Poe Noah, he inhaled all that. It just like it went right over him. We couldn't even see out the window, Brandon.
Oh yeah, I mean, I couldn't see y'all either from the field, so I was having to give y'all play-by-play of what was going on until the smoke cleared. But it was heavy. But I think I might incorporate some fans down there next year to help get it up and out.
we go.
Please do that, please.
I saw people.
And people said they had lung problems after that, but that's not true, folks. It's nothing.
It's not Legionella's purple haze.
It's not smoke. It's just water.
They say working in the coal mine, everybody develop that black lung. When you come to Saluda game, you get that purple lung, which is an honor to have.
That's
You should be honored to have that.
You ought to tell everybody.
Exactly. Tell everybody wants a purple lung.
Everybody wants to stand at the tunnel, but there's only limited amount of space.
And Burton, I was going to say this, and I don't know if this goes on or not, but Tom Brady deflated his balls a little bit just because of that. You take a little air out of the ball, and it makes a world of difference. So I don't know if anybody checks our balls, but I think I would run the PSI down.
What did they call that? The Brady Gate?
That was Deflate Gate.
Deflate Gate.
Yep.
Okay.
That was the opposite of that with Spygate, and then they had they had a lot of gates up there with Belichick.
So we'll be watching Brady Ashley's hands tonight as he's handling the ball. If he's deflating,
You take that needle and
got
just,
a bicycle pumping up. I don't know what he's doing, but we'll watch him tonight.
yeah. I mean, I would, because we use our own balls, right? We don't use theirs; we use ours. So, yeah,
I didn't realize that.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
You use your own balls.
Our balls are quite unique. They got the little purple S stamp on it. If I can ever catch Coach Young not looking, he's probably going to be one shy. If I can,
I
get my
never
hands on
never
it.
realized that.
They have the S bag. They got the brand on them.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, like
Looks-
I
real
guess it's the
cowhide.
same way in college too, ain't it?
Do you know that you might not know this, but Noah Bell had a certain ball he liked to throw,
Yeah, and speaking of Noah Bell,
and they had one we used to like to kick. So
congratulations to Noah Bell and Wingate. They won their
the conference title.
The conference title, and they're playing, I guess, in the playoffs this weekend.
Yep.
Saturday.
Well, congratulations to that young man.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Somebody sent me a message about putting it on SALUDAnow, and I shared it on SALUDAnow.
And I'm gonna tell you
And
something
he
else.
was smoking a long cigar.
Yeah, he was. He pulled the burrow on him. He put the burrow on him. He's trying to get that black lung. He had that purple lung. Look,
He's
now
been seasoned.
Yeah. And also, I'm gonna tell you, I saw a picture too of a young man, Raquan Hartley.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all seen him. He had like a
Yep.
ton of tackles in a game, and I remember when that young man, I had to look down on him, and that son of a gun is tall.
He's a grown
and,
man
Oh,
now.
my goodness. He looks good. So, anyway, shout out to Raquan and Noah. Doing good things. Got to see you on Facebook a little bit. I don't look at a whole lot, but that's what popped up on mine. Great job right there by those two young men.
And y'all keep me informed about everybody when you see something like that. Just please send me a message.
Yeah, do that. Anybody's listening.
Do believe when I talked to Noah back during the summer, he was going to finish up football, and I think he will start coaching and teaching at Thurman.
Wow.
I think so. So
that's awesome.
I congratulate him on that. And
in the enemy camp.
Yeah, I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no place like home, and he can always finish up there. But I told him it's good to go out and see how other people do things and bring everything you learn back home.
That's
right.
Best thing in the world. Yes, sir.
It's time for the Coach Stuart Young Show on your SALUDANow. The Coach Stuart Young Show, a look back and a glance ahead of tonight matchup. Sponsored by Crouch Hardware and Farm Supply. From the front yard to the back pasture, we've got you covered. 508 North Main, Saluda. Visit us today. Open 7 a.m., 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. 7 a.m., 4 p.m. Saturday, and closed Sunday. Call us 864-0062. Crouch Hardware and Farm Supply. And now, here is Coach Stuart Young. And Coach Young, thank you for joining us on SALUDANow.
Thank you for having me, as always.
All right, let's look back at Mid-Carolina last week, Coach, in the first round of the playoffs.
Excuse me. Probably didn't go offensively as well as he wanted to early. And tip your hat to Mid-Carolina. Those guys are vastly improved, and they did a really good job of shortening the game. They ran the clock 40 seconds, ran the ball 40 more seconds, ran the ball. And they had a little plan to kind of shorten the game. And we only had 4 possessions on offense the first half. Scored on 2 of them, threw a pick in the end zone on the last one. Really would have liked to try to at least get a field goal out of that. And but I think maybe our expectation was to dominate, and we didn't really dominate early. And then the second half, we just had some mistakes. We kept shooting ourselves in the foot. And we've addressed those issues this week offensively. Defensively, we played a heck of a game for the most part. Gave up a couple of things coverage-wise that we can't do on third downs. We still struggle with that a little bit right now. We got to figure out. It's almost like we get zoned in on stopping this, and then we forget that they can do other things. And when we get those positions, we've struggled. But we still had a shutout. We had that's two in a row. In fact, we're going to buy the guys some donuts before we get on the bus ride today for the shutout. And so, 24-0 win, Mid-Carolina. We'll take it. Let's move on to round 2.
Yes, and a big game tonight as we travel up the road to take on the Central Eagles coach, and looking forward to the matchup there in Central Pageland tonight. Could you preview tonight's game for us?
Yeah, we've only played them twice in the history of the school. We played them in 2017, beat them 24-21 here. We were down 21-17 and had to Jeremiah Stevens punched it in, and then they came back and drove it down the field. Had some miraculous plays on 4th down, and we stopped them. I think Krishan Quattlebaum had a big sack, and we ended up beating them 24-21 on the first round. And they were actually a 4 seed that year. We were a 1 seed, but that region's so tough up there, and they're all kind of the same. So this year, that has zero bearing on, but it's still fun to talk about. This year, they're a 2 seed. They're 9-2. Finished the season 8-2. Really good team. I mean, they're good. I think they were ranked number 9 in the state in the final poll. Quarterback's big, 6'2", 205. He can move. 2 different running backs that look very similar, and they're tough to tackle. Got a receiver that can fly. They're very athletic, very athletic. And if we don't tackle, we'll be in for a long night. I've never been there, so, you know, it's going to be a long ride. It'll be a non-typical Friday. Our routine's all shot. There will be a whole new routine. And sometimes that's a good thing. You know, it kind of brings you state of mind changes a little bit more. You're not in your normal routine, so maybe it can help us. I don't know, but a long ride and new place we've never been to. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a memory that we'll have, you know, for years to come to talk about. Hope it's a good one. But they're a very good football team, defensively and offensively, very good.
We hope that you'll travel up the road with us as we go to way up almost to the North Carolina border there, and as we kick it off pregame at 7, kickoff at 7:30.
Hey, I tell you, Stuart, what a great season we've had. I've never been to Central that I can remember. And Brandon reminded me that's 50 years. Yeah. So we're looking forward to going. We know that our young men are very capable, very prepared, and we just look forward to a really good game. And we don't like to jump ahead, but you know, we always say we like to practice on Thanksgiving. So we don't have any. Me and Brandon decided we don't even have any plans for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I mean, we might as well have practice. You know, we have something to do, right?
Well, we got a long way.
Long way.
Got to worry about that. I'm telling you, this team's really good and very athletic. You know, I saw a post that Ralph Shealy put up yesterday. 9 years ago, we went to Chesterfield and we packed it out. And there's actually a further ride up there than it probably is to Central. So I hope the newness of winning over the last 9 years hasn't worn off to the fact that hopefully we can have a big crowd there tonight. I know it's going to be cold, and but back then we packed it out at Chesterfield. I'd love to see that tonight. That would be a shot of adrenaline in the arm of our kids. I know that if we could see a big crowd tonight. So, but yeah, we're looking forward to this new experience.
And Saluda usually travels well, yeah. So I mean that's one thing that we kind of hang our hats on being proud of. You talked about some of the strengths that they have on their team, the quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, look like bookends. The weather. We hadn't had a good cool night in about eight or so
Well,
weeks.
96 was pretty cool.
Yeah.
96 was that week when October was pretty cool.
How do you see the guys adapting to 80-degree weather to down in the low 40s?
I'll find out when you find out. You can't, you know, that's the one thing you can't emulate at all. I mean, you can't emulate temperature or simulate temperature. So we'll find out tonight. I don't think it'll bother them. Who knows? But I told them if you're not going to play a whole bunch and you kind of know it, you better bundle up. If you are going to play a whole bunch and you know it, you might not want to bundle up as much because you'll start taking that stuff off. That's just been my experience as a player. You think you're going to be freezing, and after warm-ups, you're taking all your stuff off because it's so hot.
That's exactly right.
And so, you know, like you said, Brandon, we haven't. 96 was about the closest we've been to cold weather. So tonight will be a cold night. And it's fun though. It's playoffs.
It's supposed to be cold.
It's fun. Yeah, it's
what
football
you do.
weather.
You know, I had a text earlier, you know, from a coach saying that 43-degree kickoff. That's what you play for.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you do it.
You hope to get to the cold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
If you quit when the weather's good, and we ain't had a good season, so we want to be cold. And I laughed. Actually, I laughed just a little bit when you said 6'2", 205 for the quarterback. I said, well, man, that would make him an offensive tackle on our team. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's funny how size and everything's cyclical. It just comes and goes. And this year, you know, we're kind of on that cycle of lean and.
But we did see the other week when you got ahead fairly well in a game, you brought some people out that we didn't know their names. They had no names on their jersey. They wasn't on the roster. You have some grown young men coming through this program.
The cycle's going to turn up towards the size here in a year. So it's high school football, 2A. You got to play with what you got and play to your strengths.
Like drag racing, run what you brung.
Yeah,
That's it. Got to
that's
run
what
with
you
the
gotta
wrong, baby. You know, I've had this push, and maybe it's only in my mind, which a lot of things probably should stay there. But I'm gonna turn this loose now on the world. But I encourage every parent that has a male child not to start their children till 6 years old in kindergarten instead of 5. Looking at it, then we end up with a bunch of 18, 19-year-old grown people on the football. Hey, that 1 year difference will be huge for our football program.
I was 17 playing college ball, so shout out to my mama for not doing that.
There we go.
But yeah, I understand where you're coming from with that. But yeah, it would help. But anyway, yes, high school football, 2A playoffs. We're 9-1. They're 9-2. What else can you ask for? Let's go have a good football game tonight.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Be up there with us there in Central South Carolina, Pageland actually, 200 Zion Church Road. Put that in your GPS and drive on up I-20, get off about Camden and make it on up there through the country. Listen, we thank you for joining us today. We got to get packed up and get ready to go. It's going to be an early start for the SALUDANow crew today as well as the Tigers. Everybody be safe going up the road. And also somebody asked me if they had a clear bag policy. They do not, but all bags are subject to search. So make sure, you don't have no weapons or anything in there. But bring your blankets. Bring anything you want to cover up because it's going to be a cold one. All right, we're looking forward to seeing everybody. Everybody have a great day. And thank you so much to Punks allowing us to come out. And also Timeless Roofing for sponsoring the show. You've been watching the Timeless Roofing Friday Morning Sports Drive live from Punks, PB and Jam. Have a great Friday, everybody.